So we'll come back to this second class of beliefs in a second. Let's throw one more in first. There are memory-based beliefs. You seem to remember something, and because of that, you form a belief. And again, it's not controversial to say that these can be false sometimes. I mean, this guy here, he's saying, "I remember I left my hat at home," but no, dude, you didn't leave your hat at home. You forgot. It's on your stinking head. So memory can lead us wrong all the time. I have a funny memory from when I was about 5 years old. I must have seen some crazy cartoon on TV, and I thought it'd be a good idea to go up to the neighbor's cat and grab it by the tail and try to swing it around. And this is kind of what I imagined in my mind. I thought this would be fun. But, I don't think I got the cat that far off the ground before it scratched me within an inch of my life, and I went crying home. Now I remember that that happened, have a fairly clear memory of it, but it's not hard to get a false memory. Suppose that never happened. Uh, but suppose my family had always told me ever since I was little that, yeah, one time you went out and tried to swing a cat around by its tail. That didn't work out so well. Suppose I had always been told that from a young age, and suppose it's not true. Well, I might kind of manufacture a first person memory of what that was like to grab the cat's tail and get scratched by the cat. So there can be false memories. Memories are often unclear. For any belief that's formed on the basis of memory, in principle, it looks like we could be mistaken. I mean, how could we rule out that memory isn't radically mistaken? Maybe we popped into existence 5 minutes ago, complete with a whole bunch of phony memories. It's hard to see how we can rule that out. Now, Descartes has a very interesting uh, and very disturbing couple of ways of casting doubt on just about everything that we believe. So in Meditations chapter 1, he gives this argument. Either an all-powerful God exists or not. Okay, well, we can't really object to that premise, right? Because it's just an either or. Looks like there are those two possibilities. Second premise, if God exists, then he could give me a maximal feeling of certainty about a false belief. So think about that feeling that you have when you consider this proposition, that 1 plus 1 is 2, or that triangles have three sides. They just they strike you a certain way, don't they? They give you a maximal feeling of certainty. Well, if there was an all-powerful being, couldn't an all-powerful being make a creature so that it had that maximal feeling of certainty about things like this? And triangles have seven sides. That this right here has seven sides. Suppose that you formed that belief and had that maximal feeling of certainty. Yeah, if there was an all-powerful being, why couldn't an all-powerful being make a creature like that? It seems that he could. Add one more premise. If there is no God, I'm the result of chance, so there is no guarantee that my most certain feeling beliefs are true. Now, this also seems true, doesn't it? Sometimes philosophers and scientists nowadays talk about the four F's. And their point is that natural selection, so to speak, only cares about four things. There are four factors that contribute to your fitness, to your ability to survive in an environment and pass your genes on so that your genes spread through the population. And the four F's are feeding, fleeing, getting away, fighting, and reproducing. Right? Four F's. Right, as long as you can do these things, you will be fit to survive. As long as you can feed yourself, get away from danger, fight to protect yourself, and create a next generation, um, then you'll be fit to survive. Notice there's nothing in here about having true beliefs, at least true beliefs about uh, that involve a maximal feeling of certainty. I mean, as long as these are all just about getting your body parts in the right place. I mean, you have to be able to hook up in the correct manner. You have to you have to be able to put up your dukes and throw some punches. You have to be able to get food from the tree into your mouth. You have to be able to run. There's nothing here about having true beliefs about mathematics or geometry or logic or probability theory or science. So, in short, natural selection seems to not care about your having reliable belief forming abilities in general. And so that third premise seems true. Now you can see where this is going, can't you? Therefore, I can be mistaken about my most certain feeling beliefs. Uh-oh. Now this raises the specter that we are just massively mistaken about just about everything we believe. Um, do we have to doubt everything? I mean, for all we know, are we caught in the Matrix, like in the original Matrix movie, before the plot got convoluted and ridiculous? Right. In the Matrix movie, there was a scene where Keanu Reeves was called into this old, creepy looking house on a dark and stormy night, and he's confronted with this distinguished African American gentleman, Morpheus. Um, and basically, Neo, Keanu Reeves' character, finds out that things are not what they seem. He believed that he was walking into a creepy dark house on a dark and stormy night and talking to this man with sunglasses. But in fact, the whole time he was, floating in a pink vat of goo. The aliens had captured him, were keeping him in this funny storage container, and were feeding information into his brain with a computer. Um, wow, that's kind of disturbing. And actually, the writers of The Matrix stole this whole idea about our being radically deceived and radically mistaken from Descartes. It's obvious that they had an intro to philosophy class, or that they had read Descartes in some context, probably in college. So Descartes puts this in terms of imagining an evil genius, or just an evil, powerful deceiver. Or if you like, you could put it in terms of a mad scientist or aliens or something. So you just have to imagine the following sort of thought experiment. Um, Somebody wants to deceive you in every way they possibly can. They're going for maximal deception. And here's one way it could work. They snuck up on you one night and they knocked you out with some drug, and they took your brain and kept your brain alive in a vat. There's liquid in here, brain-friendly liquid, and so your brain has been kept in a laboratory, and they're feeding it signals from an amazing supercomputer. This is what an amazing supercomputer looks like. Uh, um, and so you're thinking that I'm taking a philosophy class, I'm a student, and so on. I have a beautiful blonde girlfriend named Lola, and the whole time, no, you're floating in a jar, in a mad scientist lab. And he's feeding your brain signals, just the right kind of signals, where um, it feels to you, it seems to you like you're walking around uh, and engaging in a typical student's life, going on dates, going to class, taking notes for your class, reading your philosophy book, and so on. Um, Now, imagine that you're in some such predicament as this, and ask yourself, how would things seem to you? And the answer is they would seem exactly like they seem now. You might be listening to a philosophy lecture on a computer and taking notes. Um, that's how things would seem. So, if that scenario were true, things would seem just like they seem to you right now. And so, how can we decide which is correct? Do you have mostly correct beliefs about the world, or have you been systematically deceived? Now, Descartes' point in this is not that he believes that you're systematically deceived. I mean, he's not paranoid or crazy. He doesn't think that some powerful spirit or some mad scientists or aliens have actually captured us all and are deceiving us. This is for him a thought experiment. And the point of it is that we could be wrong about just about everything we believe. There isn't any indubitable belief that we've found so far. There isn't anything about which we could be completely certain. Now, Descartes admits that when he does this thought experiment, it's difficult to imagine. He says, I find my old opinions, quickly coming back upon me. It's hard to keep them at bay for very long. But still, no matter, the point still holds that in principle, most of our beliefs could be wrong, almost all of them. But if we can just find one belief that can't be doubted, then that will be an undoubtable, an indubitable foundation on which maybe we can build back the structure of human knowledge, and we can see that yes, there really is a firm foundation for human knowledge after all.